Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Freedom marchers, freedom family, freedom lovers, and freedom fighters. Snapzilla Gorillas in the building. Hitting y'all up with this here live stream. Hitting you upside the head with this morning paper. Hitting you upside with this morning paper. We're gonna get through this, man. Y'all know what happened over the weekend, right? 3 different attacks, 3 different high-profile attacks. You got one attack that happened in the United States. I'm going to talk about that probably tomorrow. But you had an Australian attack, and then you had an attack in France, I think it was. So yeah, we're going to touch on these things. I'm going to touch on the Bondi Beach attack, where they say that a couple of Islamic terrorists attacked a Hanukkah celebration at the beach, okay, where they killed 15 people, I think. 15 people were killed, and I think the 2 shooters were killed as well. But, it's one of those situations where you have to look at it and think false flag. That's how I look at it, right? Automatically. Especially given the current climate, where, the Jews are not even the Jews, right? In reality, the Israeli government is under fire. No one trusts them. No one believes them. Everybody knows that they're genocidal maniacs and they're full of shit. And we know that they have talked about using Islamophobia to get everybody back on track with supporting Israel. And then this happens. Not only that, but in the Knesset, which is basically the Israeli Congress, they were talking about how they were predicting that there would be a Hamas terrorist attack in Europe in the next 6 months. Okay, that's what they said recently, over I think this past week. So you have that. You have before, they were trying to use Mamdani, right? The guy in New York, to kind of like foment Islamophobia and all this good shit, all this bad shit, I'll say. And now look what you have. You have 2 Islamic terrorists, and that's what they found on these people. Guess what they conveniently found on the 2 shooters in Bondi Beach? They found an ISIS flag. They found ISIS flags on the 2 cats shooting. And I think it's that's extremely convenient, right? Just like Luigi Mangione, he wrote some shit on the bullet casing. Tyler Robinson wrote some shit on the bullet casing. And now they have ISIS flags on these cats. And they attacked a Hanukkah celebration. You understand what I'm talking about? And needless to say, I don't believe none of this shit. I don't believe that this attack was carried out by Islamic terrorists. I think they were probably assets of Israel, right? They used them to kind of like, listen, these intelligence agencies from these powerful nations like the United States and Israel and different nations, they will use tactics to ensure that these attacks happen. I don't know, like threatening the family of these individuals. Maybe they say, look, if you don't carry out this attack, I will kill your entire family. And, when faced with that, I mean, what can you really do? Now, let me tell you about Benjamin Nosferatu and what he tried to do immediately after this attack was ended. Let me tell you what he tried to do. This piece of shit, Benjamin Nosferatu, lied and said that the attack was stopped by a small hat, by a Jewish individual. that lying genocidal piece of shit. The attack, one of the attackers was tackled armed by a Muslim, by a Jew, by an Israeli, which is a fucking lie. Okay? One of the shooters was stopped and disarmed by Ahmad al-Ahmad, a shop owner, a Muslim shop owner who was a bystander, saw the attack happening and put his own life in danger to stop the attack, one of the attackers, and was shot in the arm and in the hand in the process. A Muslim attacked. A Muslim stopped another Muslim from creating more trauma and killing more people in this mass situation. These motherfuckers are so full of shit. You get Benjamin Nosferatu telling people, "Oh well, you know, it was stopped by a small hat." Lying piece of shit. Let me help you understand something. They don't really give a shit. They will lie in your face and tell you that roses don't smell like doo-doo. And they know that you know they're fucking lying, and they know they'll get away with it anyway, because you people are so docile. We're so docile. We're so predictable, right? People will come out and defend this motherfucker no matter what anyway. Salute to Black Jericho. Salute to Orange Lily for you. Thank you guys for coming through. Salute to Marcy T in the building. Kent Guard J. Salute to y'all. Kelvin Black. TS Firearms. I look and sound like Tyron Woodley. Okay, yeah. I guess, you know, Tyron Woodley is dark skinned, so I'll take that as a compliment. Anyway, so listen, Benjamin Nosferatu is a bold-faced fucking liar, and one of the individuals that knows Ahmad al-Ahmad even did an interview talking about how his friend saved many lives that day. But of course, the narrative has to be this attack was carried out by Muslims and a Jew stopped it. Complete and utter bullshit. And then of course you got the attack, I think it was in Syria, where 3 service members were shot. You have that attack, and of course that was ISIS as well, right? That was an ISIS attack. Now help me understand this, because Donald Trump supposedly destroyed ISIS. He ended it, ISIS. ISIS is gone. Yet here they are carrying out attacks in Australia and Syria. You know, Syria where, oh shit.
Syria, officially the Syrian Arab Republic.
Hey, shut up, Siri.
In West Asia, located in the Eastern Mediterranean and the Levant.
You gotta
be. Hear more?
No, shut your mouth.
I can search the web for that when
oh
you
my
finish
God.
driving.
Shut up. Can you guys hear me okay? Anyway. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay, because I thought, hold on a second. The bottom line is, these motherfuckers are liars, bro. Donald Trump supposedly stopped ISIS. Let me tell you guys something. You can't stop organizations and groups like ISIS. You can't do it. Now understand that we created ISIS. Our government created ISIS. Obama created ISIS. Not Obama, right? Well, not Obama. You see, we get off into blaming individual presidents for this, that, and the third, when in reality, they're just doing the bidding of the bankers. They're doing the bidding of the special interest groups. Now, I did a live stream with my brother, I Am Trill Will. And I made an important distinction, right? Because what we like to do is, if a president is serving a term, anything that happens during that term, we blame it on that president. But this country has been going down the tubes since the early 1900s because our country was sold out to the banks, the central bank. We started to not, now, we were taking off the gold standard, and then we, in 1910, and then we had the Federal Reserve Act of 1913. And then during the 70s, our country violated the Bretton Woods Agreement, and we closed the gold window. From that point, fiat currency was king. All right, fiat currency was king. And this is one of the reasons we're in the position we are in today in terms of the economic problems that we're having. And when people are desperate and the economy is unstable, we get in the position where they can do things like orchestrate attacks, orchestrate terrorist attacks, and tell us what they want us to know, which is going to be a bunch of lies. They want us to believe in lies. Okay? They want us to believe. See, Benjamin Nosferatu came out and said that because, well, he knows that enough people are going to believe him, even though it's a fucking lie. So when the truth comes out, not very many people are going to even know the truth. Right? And damn. The reason for this is because we are distracted by so many other things. The only thing they want us to know about this Bondi attack, the Bondi Beach attack, is that Muslims killed a bunch of Jews. That's what they want us to know. Right? And they want us to know that it was ISIS. They want us to know that 3 soldiers were attacked in Syria by ISIS members. Now, my question is, what the fuck are we doing in Syria? Why do we put ourselves, why do we allow the government to put us in a position where we are under threat by so many different nations? Right? Why is this happening? We allow our government under any president. It doesn't fucking matter, right? Trump, Joey B, Barack Obama, George Bush, all these motherfuckers going all the way back. I make no distinctions, guys. I make no distinctions. Why don't I make distinctions? Because they're all fucking working for the same people. They are all beholden to the same elite power structure. An elite power structure that we have no idea or understand. We have no idea of or understanding of, because we don't live in that world, right? But they do it right in front of our faces. The lobbyists, the special interest groups, the PACs, the bankers, they run this fucking shit. We need to stop being so hyper focused on this party and that party, that president and this president. It doesn't fucking matter. They are coming into a system that's already been in place for decades, over 100 years. Yeah, the Constitution is 250 years old, but they started shitting on the Constitution a long time ago, did they not? We don't live in a constitutional republic. We live in an oligarchy, pardon me, because I know some people want to, it's an oligarchy. I don't give a fuck. This is not a democracy, right? It's not a republic. It is an oligarchy. It is corporatism. And it's not capitalism. Because a lot of people like to blame capitalism. Oh, the capitalists. No, these people, these organizations, these corporations, they're not fucking capitalists. They are corporatists. There is a difference. They are corporatists. They are corporate welfare recipients. Someone says wrong. Tell me what's right. Yes, the Jekyll Island meeting started the ruling of the elites. Yes. Well, they started a long time ago. I want you guys to go look at the Constitution. It started before that, but they just made it official. They made it official on Jekyll Island. They made it, okay, we really gonna take the reins. But they have been in control before that. Go look at the Constitution. Look at the introduction of a lot of these constitutional amendments. Who are involved in many of these constitutional amendments, including eminent domain and other things like that? Go look at the history. Go look at these cases that set precedent in this nation that created that laws were able to be created. It always, not you will find that, because I looked at it. Many a times banks are involved in these court cases where they set precedent that go against the Constitution, that they set precedent, and then sometimes they amend the Constitution or they create laws that affect our freedoms. A lot of it has to do with the banks. Just Human said, I have started 5 companies. Capitalism allowed that. Yes. Capitalism, these corporations don't practice capitalism. When you orchestrate monopolies using the law, when you use government to create monopolies, when you use government to get away with violating antitrust laws, when you use government to allow you, right, to offer you protection, give you protections against restrictions like, Donald Trump did for the AI companies. Donald Trump just signed an executive order giving protections to AI companies from state regulations and state restrictions. Tell me, you could try to tell me that Biden wouldn't have done the same thing, or Camel Toe Harris. Camel Toe Harris and Joe Biden would have done the same things for these AI companies. Name the companies violating the antitrust laws. Wow. Well, Larry Ellison is one. Right? The big 3 food companies own all the small food companies. Just because the government gives you an out or eases regulations and restrictions on antitrust laws so that you can practice antitrust does not mean that they're not violating antitrust laws. I know they don't want to hear the truth. Name the countries. We mean name the countries. Shut the fuck up. You name the countries. Name the countries. Shut the fuck up. The real estate market and farming monopolies is why necessities are expensive. Yes. BlackRock, right? BlackRock and the big 3. Big 5. There are big 5 companies that own in the world that own all the food companies. And of course you got, smaller companies that operate their own. There's the small mom and pop shops and whatnot. AI companies. This guy says AI companies, plural. Did I say that the AI companies are monopolies? Did I say that? I said worldwide. It doesn't. Listen, a monopoly does not mean that one entity owns everything in the fucking world, you dumbass. It does not have to be one large company owning every fucking thing in the world for it to be a monopoly. Silly ass motherfucker. Yeah, it doesn't have to be. And they don't have to be pure monopolies if they work together, right, to set prices, to not over compete with each other, because this is what they do. Yeah, BlackRock and Vanguard, Bill Gates. And why is that a problem? If their survival depends on consumers, consumers have the power to destroy them. Well, because the government gives protections to these companies to practice the ill shit they practice. You don't understand it? Anyway, y'all, I got to get out of here. I got a meeting. Thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate you. Thank you for hitting the like button. Please hit the like button on the way out. All you got to do is double tap the screen. The bottom line is, they say 2 Muslims committed a mass situation in Bondi Beach, in Israel. I mean, in Australia. But they really don't want you to know that a Muslim stopped it. Yeah, they don't want you to know that. They want you to believe that it was a Jewish individual that stopped it. No, it was a Muslim. Anyway, thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate you. Listen, just so you know, the Knesset warned that in the next 6 months, there will be a Hamas terrorist attack in Europe. That's what they said. So that means that they're just basically telling you we're about to commit a false flag attack in the UK in the next 6 months. That's what they're telling you, by the way. That's what I hear. When they say that, that's what I hear. Because who cares? I guess you don't. But that really doesn't matter to me. Anyway, much love, like, share, subscribe, and let's keep marching forward toward freedom and truth. Peace.